This morning, we're celebrating two things that go pretty well together in my mind: the Festival of Lights of Diwali and our groundbreaking ceremony. Why do they go together? Well, our groundbreaking ceremony is a community affirmation of our intention to move ahead with our renovations and construction that we've been planning and talking about and affirming for a couple of years now. And Diwali is about the defeat of the demon of ignorance and lighting lights that will light the way home for the people involved in the war. Unitarian Universalism is all about the spirit of truth and the spirit of light. That's what our chalice is all about. We search for truth, and we understand that we're not going to grasp it completely whole. It's not going to be all there at the same time. All the answers are not clearly laid out. In the faith of Unitarian Universalism, we believe in what we call progressive revelation of truth. And that means that as we learn more, as science discovers more, as various developments happen in the tech realm, as we have more understanding of ourselves as human beings, our sense of the truth evolves. And so we believe in progressive revelation. And so an important part of this for me is we always can say, here's the truth as I understand it, but I could be wrong. And I always trust someone who says, I could be wrong, more than I trust someone who won't say it. Don't you? So we know there are people who need truth. We know people who have been sickened by ignorance and lies. We know there are human souls thirsty to be part of the mission that we declare ourselves to be part of. We know there are people who need us. We know there are people who are coming out of the forest beset by demons of ignorance, and we want to light their way home. We want to be the light. This congregation, I have to tell you, is a light not only in the Central Texas area, but nationwide. I get emails from people all over the country and even from other countries saying, we watch your sermons, we watch Chris's sermons, and you're nourishing our souls, even though we can't be there. And one lovely man sends $50 every time he writes me that. I want to support this church. So there are people who need this congregation. They've been made to feel worthless by their family or their religion or their job, just life circumstances, the bad diagnosis. They're feeling like they don't have much dignity or worth. And there are people, my friends, you know this, that are all around us and among us who are suffering in 1,000 invisible ways inside. And we are meant to be a light for them, and they are meant to be a light for us, and we are meant to be light for each other, to light our way home. I'm going to tell you the story of Prince Rama and Princess Sita. And what I want to say is, I'm not going to do it justice. It's a long and beautiful, complicated story in the scripture called the Ramayana. And so I urge you to read it for yourself because there's a lot to it. Prince Rama and his wife Sita lived in the palace with his father, the king, and his stepmother. The stepmother had a son. She thought he should be king instead of Prince Rama. So she tricked her husband into exiling Rama and Sita into the woods for 14 years, where they lived in a hut. This was no ordinary forest. This was a forest filled with demons. One of the demons, named Ravana, fell in love with Sita. he had 10 heads and 20 arms. He decided to cause a beautiful little deer to run past the hut. And Sita saw the deer and said, "Oh, Rama, please go get us that deer and we can make it into a pet." So Rama went off into the woods to get the deer. And as soon as he was gone, Ravana came in his chariot pulled by monsters and swept her up and took her away. But she was a smart princess, and she had a lot of jewelry. And so she dropped jewelry all along the path. And when Rama realized he'd been tricked, he came and started picking up the jewelry and finding his way to where she was being held. On the way, he ran into his friend Hanuman, who was king of the monkeys. Hanuman could fly because he was king. And Rama said, "Hanuman, someone has taken Sita, and I have to find her. I don't know where she is." And Hanuman said, "We are going to help you find her." And so all the monkeys went everywhere, swinging through the trees and running along the ground and looking in little places. And finally, Hanuman, who could fly, found her on an island surrounded by a rocky coast and choppy seas. And he spoke to her and said, "I'm so glad I found you, princess." She said, "Tell Rama where I am and give him this pearl so that he'll know that it's really me." So Hanuman went back and told Rama where she was. The monkeys called their friends the bears, and the bears and the monkeys together started throwing rocks and sticks into the ocean, and they made a bridge across to the island. And Rama and the bears and the monkeys all went to fight the demons. And in my version of the story, which I just want to be true, Sita does some fighting too. When my sons were young, they wanted to play video games all the time. And I told them I didn't care how violent they were as long as the girls did their own fighting. So Sita and Rama and the bears and the monkeys and Hanuman all came back victorious, and the people lit their houses to celebrate the triumph of good over ignorance and knowledge over ignorance and evil. And they put lights in all their windows, and they lit Sita and Rama's way home. And now in India, people decorate their homes with beautiful lights, and they draw rangoli on the ground, and that invites the goddess Lakshmi, who's right here, to come bring good luck in the new year. In many Indian homes, the tradition is to keep the lights on for the whole 5 days of the holiday. And in Nepal, I hear the tradition is to keep the door open for the whole 5 days of the holiday. So you see how that comes together with being welcoming? We are, as a congregation, taking a very exciting and brave step to be welcoming, to keep our lights on, to keep our doors open, to make room for the people who need us, the people who are coming out of the forest. You know about the forest, don't you? I mean, we've felt the forest before. We've felt being in the clutches of the demons of fear. It's easy. The fear thoughts come so quickly you can't even do all the things they tell you to do in the self-help books about keeping them at bay or talking to them or whatever. It is, you can live through 10 years of disaster just like in a split second in your mind. That's the demon of fear. You can have the demon of violence, of abuse, of lies, the demon of addiction. We've all been in the clutches or felt them clutch at people we love. We want to be a light to lead people out of the forest and to light people's way home. Individually, as small lights, as a congregation, as a larger light, and as part of the truth itself. I want us to think about the people who have been lights to us. I want us to call their names out. As one of our architects, Aaron, and as one of our contractors, Kyle, go out into the garden with their shovels and their hard hats. There they are. There's Aaron. There's Kyle. Wave, Kyle. Thank you. Kyle's a big paperwork guy. Part of renovation is watching stuff get torn up. There's a violence to it. It's not great fun from beginning to end only. It's pretty much fun. Is there anyone from the building team that's here that would like to go out and join them? Our building team is not here this service. So I want you to know that there will be things that are precious to you that you love that will be moved or taken apart. And I want us to say out loud the names of people who have been lights to us, who have been heroes and heroines to us. And I'm going to start with Martin Luther King Jr., and Fannie Lou Hamer, Howard Thurman, Rabindranath Tagore, my mama. You all call out people who have been lights to you, who have lit your way, your heroes and your sheroes. Keep calling out people who strengthen you. Yeah. Molly Ivins. We're inviting these people into our ceremony because we need them. We can't do this by ourselves. We need our heroes and we need our heroines and we need our ancestors. Someone in the first service called out Stephen Colbert. Ann Richards. God bless her. John Oliver. As we sing this ceremonial song of blessing for a building, which we will also sing at the building dedication, if other names occur to you, please continue to call them out as we sing. May nothing evil cross this door. Hymn number 1.